You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs, and sitting beside me, I got some top superstars next to me here as we get closer to the conference finals. Here to break down with me the NBA playoffs, got Nijee, Mikey, Emanuel, and Phritz. You know, Phritz, I'll start off with you. We'll get into the playoff talk, but first off, our MVP has been named. Joel Embiid finally got it. No three-peat for Nikola Jokic. Did the NBA voters, did they get it right?
You know, I definitely think that they did get it right. Embiid had an amazing season, one of the first players in a while to average 33 points per game, 10 rebounds, second consecutive year, leading the league in scoring. Definitely a big man resurgence happening in the NBA. I feel like this was a very interesting MVP race. You know, you had three candidates that really were amazing, but I feel as though just looking at the statistics, the way that Embiid carried the 76ers throughout the regular season, I think the voters really got things right this time.
You know, Nijee, do you agree with Phritz? Should it have went back to Jokic again?
No, I agree with Phritz. Embiid did his stuff this year. Had basically the best season of his career, and I see why the NBA media didn't want to give it to Jokic because they didn't want to give a player 3 times because they didn't want to start a new conversation about best player or best center. So Embiid, he did his stuff. I'm glad he finally got his award. So the Sixers gonna go make it far right there.
Mikey, what do you think?
Embiid puts up numbers. You know, 30-point double-double with the rebounds. You know, he could dish a little bit of assists too. Great defensively. Played his second most games in his career, which is just amazing. Effective field goal percentage. You know, all the analytics you want to give to Jokic, you could give to Embiid too. He's just as impactful, and he carried the 76ers team. That's what it is. And if he stays healthy in the playoffs, they'll be fine.
Emanuel, what do you think?
Yeah, like you said, Jimmy, third time is the charm for the process. Absolutely remarkable this season. Like Phritz said, second consecutive scoring title. For me, the most important part about this award is that there's no lack of authenticity because of his past 2 seasons, failing to get the award over Nikola Jokic. He deserves it. He has a great group of guys surrounding him. We saw when he was in tears, we saw how they were all celebrating with him. I think Philly have a great chance to go far this year, and he deserves it.
Yeah, I saw James Harden got him a custom Rolex that said MVP on the back. I thought that was pretty cool, but definitely happy for Joel Embiid. Finally got that MVP. See how far he can go in the playoffs with the Sixers. But Emanuel, I'll keep it with you. One team that is definitely not going far into the playoffs is the Memphis Grizzlies. They get bounced by the LA Lakers. Take me through the series, and what's next for Memphis?
Yeah, for me, it was a combination of 2 things that ultimately led to the Lakers beating the Memphis Grizzlies in 6 games. One, that false sense of security that Memphis had going into the series, quote-unquote, being fine in the West, thinking they were going to run through the conference effortlessly. And second, I believe it was a situation of them just meeting the wrong team at the wrong time. You know, LA has been playing very great basketball post the February 9 trade deadline, and they've been playing like a top-seeded team, going up against an actual top-seeded team, and they're able to pull through.
You know, Phritz, your glorious king, LeBron James, he moves on. Him and Anthony Davis played very well, knocked out the Grizzlies. What did you see from that series?
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people definitely forgot about Steven Adams and Brandon Clarke going into this season. You know, Memphis was dealing with some injuries, and the Lakers definitely took a part into that. You can see during their game plan, they're forcing a lot of things toward the plate, and Memphis just did not have the size to counter that. And also, Ja missing 1 game for that hand injury. A lot of factors played into them losing, but I think Memphis will be just fine. You know, minus Dillon Brooks, but there will be another high seed next year. I think that they'll be fine.
Yeah, Mikey, what are your takeaways about the Grizzlies?
Get Dillon Brooks a copy of Ni Hao Kai Lan. He needs to learn some Chinese. He might go to Shanghai. Not actually, but obviously he's not going to be back. Talking all this stuff to Bron. Obviously, he's not the guy. Desmond Bane kind of underwhelmed for me a little bit. You know, they need guys that could shoot threes and defend. Like Luke Kennard's not going to cut it for you. And, you know, Steven Adams especially brings you back to grit and grind Memphis. You need a center like that in the NBA. He's not amazing, but he's definitely going to win you some games just doing that. Little extra things.
Yeah, those couple extra injuries, and obviously Ja Morant's hand, too, clearly unhealthy. Would not have been playing if this is a regular season. Let's just call it like it is. Nijee, what are your thoughts?
I don't feel no man till they give me 40. And that's the last words that Dillon Brooks said. And what happened after that? The Lakers gave them 40. LeBron gave them a nice little 20 and 20. First and Shaq. So I'm putting like this. The Grizzlies did Dillon Brooks dirty on way they tried to scapegoat him. At the end of the day, they had other problems. Ja him hurt, injuries, and throughout the whole regular season, they had the little veteran problem. They're bound to happen. The seeds don't matter.
They definitely don't matter, as we see the Warriors and the Lakers both upset the Kings and the Grizzlies. Now we get to see a special treat. LeBron, Curry, playoffs once again. It's kind of been a storied kind of developed rivalry over the years, all those matchups with Cleveland and Golden State in the finals. Now LeBron's in L.A. Nijee, take me through these two elite players.
Yeah, these two elite players. Out of the two, you see Curry wins. Curry leading the series 4-1 in the playoffs, but LeBron been the best player right now out of the whole series, averaging 32 points, 20, and while Curry averaged 25, 8 to Curry 6, and 11 to Curry 5. LeBron been the best player in all series. Curry had the best team, but LeBron been the best player. And I'm not going to discount Curry too tight with KD, but obviously that Warriors team was the best team on the planet at the time. So LeBron is the best player out of the two and the best out of the rivalry.
Yeah, no, and if I'm not mistaken, those statistics were career points in playoff matchups against each other. LeBron and Curry both always ball out whenever they get to play each other. But Phritz, you weren't so high on the Warriors. You weren't even that high on the Lakers to start. Nobody really was. So both these teams have kind of maybe overexceeded, maybe not really. But what do you think you're going to see from this matchup?
This matchup definitely just depends on Anthony Davis. I feel like he's one of the most frustrating superstars to watch from a fan's perspective because he can go one night looking like prime Wilt and the next day just not even have an effect on the game. He goes from 33 points, 15 rebounds to 11 points off 5 for 7 shooting. You know, I just need him to be more consistent and more effective. If they do that, I think the Lakers have a shot. But as of now, I think the Warriors have the edge in this series.
Emanuel, Lakers, Warriors.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go with the LA Lakers just off of recent form. They've been playing very, very well all throughout this postseason and towards the last part of the regular season. A few months ago on this desk, we were talking about if we expected them to make any further trades post the Rui Hachimura trade, and they went ahead and did that, and it's worked for them amazingly. So I think they'll take all of that momentum into this Warriors series and defeat the reigning champions.
Mikey, one of these teams got to go to the Western Conference Finals. Who do you think is going to be?
Lakers have the GOAT in LeBron James. Obviously, Steph, give him his flowers, but, you know, AD, best 1B in basketball, as long as he's playing his consistent game. You know, you got guys like Jordan Poole for the Warriors that had a huge drop-off from the regular season, from 20 a game to 12 a game, you know, and they're scared to play Kuminga. That's a body you need to throw at people like LeBron. Role players on, you know, Lakers are going crazy, too, so, like Austin Reeves.
You know, should be a big-time fun series. 1-1 going back to L.A. You'll see, not called the Staples Center anymore, but it's called the Staples Center to me. See that place get rocking. But another hype arena that's going to continue to host playoff games. Already seen them host 2. Miami Heat, the New York Knicks. Series tied 1-1. Mikey, the Knicks going to close it out, or the Heat going to be moving on?
I pray my Knicks can do it because they always disappoint me. But you know what? Right now, I don't think they're going to do that. The Heat, you know, they rely on streaky shooters. You got a hobbled Jimmy. Kyle Lowry's, I don't know how old at this point. You know, you got the best 2 defenders by, you know, analytics in Quickly and Grimes this postseason. I think, you know, the scores are going to do it for the Knicks.
Nijee, I think I know what your answer is going to be, but talk to me about the Knicks.
I'm taking Miami Heat. The Heat got Jimmy Butler, and they got Bam Adebayo. Not messing with y'all. I'm taking the Knicks. I don't need this no more. At the end of the day, it's the New York Knicks. It's a championship right now. It's a title run. I'm gonna say it. It's a parade in New York. I'm just saying right there. It may be 1-1 right now, but I have hope in New York because RJ is averaging 19, JB averaging 25. Drew's been having a bad shooting slump. He's still averaging a nice 18. So I don't care. New York all the way. Big dubs. Call it a night. Peace out.
Yeah, go New York, go New York, go. They already exceeded my expectations, so I don't want to jinx anything, but I will throw it to Emanuel. Are we keeping the Knicks love going?
Yeah, there's no joke for me. I'm 100% going with the Miami Heat this series. You know, a few months ago, I said that the Cavs would have no problem taking care of the New York Knicks, and I was wrong. But you know what they say, fool me once, shame on me, but you cannot fool me again. Jimmy Butler is returning for Game 3, and he will have no problem taking care of these overrated, sorry New York Knicks.
Fool you twice, it's shame on you. That's what I gotta say. You can't go against New York. Your team.
We're not discussing the Rockets.
But
listen,
it makes sense why your answer is the
I'm
Heat.
discussing hobble Jimmy Butler.
We're on the come up.
That's what I'm gonna do.
It's looking bright. Maybe not next season necessarily, but the season after. Look.
Man,
All right, we're not here to glorify the Rockets. We're here to hear Fritz Napoleon's take. Fritz, close us out.
Look, bing bong, okay? Trae Young better hope he does not see me. Knicks all the way. it's all for Jalen Brunson. Okay, he's a superstar now. I'm confident in saying that. The way that when he comes back into the game, MSG just rallies around him. All the players in New York rally around him. He's playing the best ball of his career. Josh Hart, I joked a lot when that trade happened. I was like, what is he gonna do? He's playing amazing. It's to the point where it doesn't even matter if Julius Randle has a bad game. The rest of the stars can uplift them and carry them throughout the rest of the way. Playoff Jimmy can only do but so much. I think the Knicks are going to pull this one out.
Yo, Phritz, how you say it? Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in
Yeah,
5. Let's
Knicks
get
in
it.
5.
Well, I know that would make a lot of us happy. The NBA playoffs are going to continue to be electric. That's all we got for you here today for the NBA playoffs. Don't forget to follow us at SportsDeskWP on Twitter and Instagram for updates and more. Join us next week. It's our final episode of the school year. It's going to be a loaded day. We'd like to give a special thank you to all the cast and crew, and a big time shout out to the tallest man in the room, our studio manager, the wonderful Al Clarke. From Studio B in Hamilton Hall, I'm almost done with this, but I'm Jimmy Patton, and we'll see you next time.